So it's still August 6th, but I've been thinking about my previous um, expressions this morning, um, and I've taken the plants out for their um, for their little field trip, and actually, it's very pretty. I think. Um, anyway, let's see here. Oh yes, there they are. So I ate lunch out there. It was really nice, and then I was gonna read, but then Steve started mowing, and I thought, well, I'll see if I can circle back to what I wanted to, like what I originally was propelled to to speak about, um, and everything that I said in the previous video is sort of like a prelude, I guess, to this. So the point of being vulnerable, when and putting yourself out there for anyone and everyone to see, when I've spent most of my life trying to be invisible and not writing, not expressing myself, and just trying to force myself to fit into the narrow confines of what was available to me in my, I mean, it's really pretty, that's a pretty broad stroke, but, because I've worked very hard and made a lot of progress along the way. This is not a big, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. What I wanted to say was that I realized that I needed to love myself, because running around trying to court others and others' good opinions, and depending upon others to give me the love that makes me feel happy and secure, is a really very, very precarious way to live. And it is for everyone, because I don't care who you are. Like, even if you have all the money in the world, you're precarious if you don't carry your own love and joy, and you don't have your own strong relationship with yourself and your own, like, well, I call it sovereignty. It's a big word to use, but if you don't have that inside of yourself, you are vulnerable to whatever life dishes at you, and it can blow you, buffet you all over the place. You can have the most wonderful relationship in the world with someone, and they just love you and understand you and give you everything, read your mind, and, like, just totally get you. But they could die, or, if you don't have it in yourself, it's just precarious. And by putting these videos out here, I feel like I'm making myself super vulnerable and super precarious. But the thing is, I have been working really hard to actually love myself. And this is a great experiment, because really, I mean, we're all taught not that loving yourself is somehow um, distasteful and um, just no, like we're just supposed to look to others to give us love, and then give give ourselves and court. Oh man, I'm going off into something that I'm not sure I really have words for, except what I've just already been speaking about. But there has to be a number one relationship, a solid relationship within, with your own, with your own self, and with the one. I call it the one because that's how it introduced itself to me. Um, that's a whole other story. But I call it the one because it is the one. It is the one uh, thing that unites um, all of us. Everything you can see, everything that you can't see. Um, it's all one thing, and uh, each each one of us contains a spark of that one. Let's just call it, I mean, these are terms that have been used before to try to explain this because we don't have good words to explain this. But because it's so massive, it's very, very hard for the human mind to comprehend um, what I'm trying to express in these words. But each one of us contains a spark of this one, you know, the Tao, the the one. Um, it's a holographic universe, so it's like a holograph is a like a picture that's created in such a way that if you take one little tiny fraction of it, you can recreate the whole. Um, MIT had a really cool exhibit many years ago on holograms. But anyway, we are in a holographic universe, and so each one of us, even though we have been so trained to be thinking of ourselves as separate beings, and we are all interacting and fighting and loving each other, um, and we're all separate and alone, desperately alone. We are actually we are all part of this one thing. And so even though it may appear in certain aspects that we are separate, we're all connected. And not only are we all connected, we all have a connection, a spark of the one within us with which we can relate. And it is our own self. It is our own self, and it is some sort of a higher, more inclusive one self. And um, I think the reason why I am able to be so vulnerable and do something that um, really could introduce me to some unpleasant unpleasant results. Um, I'm willing to do that because I believe in my relationship with myself at this point. Living alone has really just given me a lot of strength and um, shown me what I'm capable of doing. And, it's not like I'm daring anyone out there to like try to knock me down or anything like that. I certainly I'm a tender-hearted being, and I will always be a tender-hearted being, and it will always matter to me what people think of me, obviously. But I think I've developed my own self and my relationship with that one to a point where I feel grounded enough to share my innermost wanderings. So that's really it. I want to read today. It's my last day of vacation. It's gorgeous outside. And I think I'm going to read and maybe go for a hike later or a jog on the railroad tracks, which I just love to do. It makes me feel like a kid. Anyway, peace.